This morning at approximately 9:30 a.m. we had a call to the Sheriff's Office regarding a discovery that was made by an Orange County meter employee.
This area was a very flooded area during the earlier searches, and right now we're trying to put it all together.
The date right now is December 17, 2008. Time right now is 18:29 hours. I'm Detective Mellish with the Orange County Sheriff's Office. Reference Orange County case number 08-122093. We are located at 4795 Salamander Street, St. Cloud. Also present is Corporal Eric Edwards with the Orange County Sheriff's Office, FBI Agent Scott Boland, and Roy Kronk. Mr. Kronk, would you please state your name and date of birth for the record?
Roy Kronk, January 22nd, 1962.
And you're aware this is being recorded?
Yes, sir.
Any objection to that?
No, not at all.
Okay. Mr. Kronk, we came down here to visit you at your house because we wanted to get a more detailed statement about the morning of the 11th last week when you found what you found. And it also came up in conversation earlier today about a crime line tip that you had called in August. What I'd like you to do is start on the 11th of December. Walk me through that morning just like you did before. And then we'll kind of use that to go back to this earlier crime line tip that you mentioned.
Okay.
If you would be so kind.
Sure. I went into work that morning at normal. I was assigned my route, which just happened to be the Anthony's route. I've read that route before. I finished the first neighborhood. I was in need to go to the bathroom. So I went down to the area, which the meter readers know is a safe area. You cannot be seen from the road to urinate. I also went in with the offhand chance that I had made a report in August that I believed I had seen something. And I just figured, hey, might as well go in and, So I urinated, and then I looked off to my right, and I noticed a black plastic bag. And there was an object there that just appeared not to seem to be right to me. I had my meter stick with me at the time because back in August when we were there, we had found a 6-foot dead diamondback rattlesnake, so I wanted to make sure that I had some protection if something was in there. I took my stick and I hit it, and I heard like a hollow sound. So out of curiosity, I took my stick and I grabbed the bottom of the bag. And I yanked it once and nothing happened. I yanked it twice and it seemed that something had shifted. And I looked down at my feet and there was a skull there.
Okay.
So
when you urinated, where were you in relation to the bag? Did you actually urinate on the bag?
No, I'm pretty sure I was about a good 4, 5, 6 feet away from the bag.
So you're some distance away.
Right.
And when you noticed the skull and noticed the bag, what did you do then?
I looked down at what I was seeing, and at first it really didn't register what it was. And I looked at it, pretty hard, and I reached down with my meter stick to kind of adjust it because I thought it was a Halloween mask at first. And I moved it, and when I moved it, that's when I saw the duct tape over the mouth area, and it immediately registered to me what I had seen.
When you say you moved it, did you just...
I just lifted it barely, so I could get a better look at it.
Okay, but you didn't misplace it from...
Oh, no, I didn't move it. I mean, I didn't move it as in physically move it from one location to another. I just kind of lifted it up a little bit.
Manipulated it something.
Right, yeah, manipulated it. And then I just dropped it, and then I immediately walked away, went up, got on my radio, contacted 3959, who was Alex, my field coordinator, and asked him to get there immediately. Then there was some chit-chat back and forth on the radio. I then called my base, 3980. I reported them that I had found a human skull. And then, of course, more chit-chat went back and forth. And then Alex showed up. And then we sat around and waited for the police to show up.
When you mentioned chit-chat on the radio, there were certain conversations that we listened to during radio.
Right, yeah, you've heard, right.
Kind of tell me a little bit about that conversation you would have had with coworkers or your boss.
I really didn't say anything because I was still in a state of shock. I was just listening more or less.
Did they ask you, or did you make mention about being in that area before, or maybe confirming what you...
Well, no, they all know I've read that route before.
Okay, the last time you rode this route was August 10th.
Well, that was the first time I read that route.
Okay, so August 10th and then September?
September, October, somewhere in that time frame. I read it again.
December.
Right, because like I said, you walk 5 to 8 miles a day. I really don't overly pay attention. I just try to get my work done and go on the.
Did you mention this August 10th incident to coworkers?
Oh yeah, no, we discussed it. Yeah.
Okay, did they say anything over the radio to you about that?
No, because that was just mostly between me and Dave and Chris.
Okay.
You know, because that was the three people that were there.
We discussed the radio transmission of I told you she was there, I think as well.
Right, because you know, because I gave them my theory that they thought I was insane at the time, but that was a joke. You know, and then I think I heard somebody say something about you were right, and I was like, yeah, I told you she was there.
Okay.
You know, a little braggadocious, but you know, I apologize for that.
That's okay. Now let's go back to August 10th. Since you say you came back to this area, well, obviously partly because you had to urinate, and partly because of a tip that you had called in on August 10th.
Right.
Tell me about the tip.
August 10th was the first time I'd ever read that route. I remember it being an extremely hot day. I was getting towards the end of my route, and David Dean, the guy who actually trained me, showed up with a new trainee, Chris, and they had completed their route for that day, and they assisted me in finishing. So we got finished, and I think it was about 1:15 when we got done.
What's Chris's last name?
I don't know.
Okay.
We just kind of go on first name basis.
Does he still work there?
Oh yeah. And so we went down to that area because number one, it's a safe place to go to the bathroom.
How did you know it was a safe place?
Well, because it's just like two swamp areas on either side of the road with the school at a dead end. It's August. School wasn't in session. There's like hardly any traffic at all there. So, and also, it was a lot more grown up. So it was real easy to go behind a tree without being seen from the road.
Is it safe just because you guys found that place, or did David show you that place?
No, I think David had just parked there because it was actually very shaded and it was a cool place.
Okay.
And I just decided on my own to go in there and go to the bathroom. So
continue.
So after I got done going to the bathroom, they were standing a little bit further down, I guess a little further west, and I just walked up and stood there, and Dave and Chris came walking up, and they both started jumping up and down, like jumping back, screaming like little girls, and I was like, what? And they said, look down at your feet, and I looked down at my feet, and there was a 6.5 foot eastern diamondback rattlesnake, dead, blood freshly coming out of his mouth, so it must have just been hit by a car. I have no idea what happened to it, and that's what frightened them. So Dave picked the truck, put it in the back of his truck, was going to go back to work and scare the people. But I was looking out into the water, and there was like a tree that had fallen over, but it had like little branches that had arched up, and there was like a black object there that I might have seen a little white, but it looked, just something didn't look right about it.
You might have seen a little what?
A little white. You know, but
Part of the object, or?
yeah, on the bag. But it just didn't look right. Whatever it was, it just didn't look right to me. So I said, you all see that? And they looked and they're going, no, I don't see nothing. I said, it's right there. And they're like, no. So I came back. I came home, logged out, told my girlfriend what happened, and she said, well, you should call that into the tip line. So I called it into the tip line that night, got my case number, told them I would meet them the next night after I got off at work at 3:30. The officer showed up.
How did you end up meeting with the officer? Did they hook you up with law enforcement, or?
Well, yeah, they said that they would send an officer out there to meet me.
At a certain time?
At a certain time.
Okay.
Because I told them I got off work at 3:30, and
That was on the 10th?
That was on the 11th.
On the 11th. So you called the sheriff's office back?
well, I think it was predetermined the night before that they were going to meet me there or something of that nature.
Through the tip line?
Yeah.